Hello and welcome to this video number 4 of our configuration guide on how to deploy cloud security connectors for servers and virtual desktops using Azure Availability Sets. In this set of videos we are showing the complete solution to connect Azure Cloud to Zscaler. The first video was the introduction, the next one was about the prerequisite, what we need to do in advance, the subnets, this type of stuff. We have the video here. The video number 3 was about how to deploy, everything is automated, and how to deploy the connectors. And now we have the connectors deployed. Our next step is to configure each one, the HA part and the pool, CSC pool. We are going to see in this video how to connect the CSC high availability pair. Then the first task to say here, using the Linux VM, the utility, run the automation script. And this is what we're going to do here. I have my automation script installed here, and I will run on this. And I was talking to me here is to run this, and the prerequisite we saw that we need to have Azure CLI installed to run this, and this user must have access to read the VMs and network properties. Then I'm ready, and I will start. This script is for availability set and availability zone too. And we are going to do another set of videos for availability zone, but you can imagine that on availability zone is nothing else than to put one of these on each different availability zone and do the same for this and to run the script. Then we are going to put focus on availability set, but this design can be also possible to do with availability zones. The first question is how many cloud connectors you have on this availability set. I have 2, is the HA pair, and they will start asking me now some information about the virtual machine. Then select the first one of the pool, and they will ask you subscription ID. Then the resource group, this is to run the command. And the name of the first VM. This is my first VM. Copy. Okay. What the script is doing is going to your account on the cloud portal, Azure portal, and it's getting the information of the machines. Now they ask me, you want to do this for a specific subnet? The answer is yes. I want to use this HAR par for this subnet, the servers subnet. Then I will include the server subnets on this script. Then I need to come the HA par, for example, and let's go to the server subnets. On the Maidenhead here, I have here the server subnet is this one. Okay. Then it's asking me the subscription ID again. The resource group of the VNet. The VNet name. And finally the subnet name, the subnet I want to include on the pack. And my subnet is the server subnets, this one. Then it's going to retrieve this information, the script. Do you want another subnet? No, I don't have, I have only one. Then the result here is as you can see, is the pack file for load balancing in the case of servers that want to use pack files. The first section of the pack file is the standard values of Zscaler. The second section is about the balance mechanisms, is selecting the primary, secondary, depending where the IP is located. If is an odd or even IP, this pack file will be selected. And this will, depending the source IP, what we're going to retrieve is the IP of the machine, and depending the source IP, the machine will select one proxy or another proxy. It's very, very easy to test. And this is the balance mechanisms. In case one proxy is down, they will use the another. And what we are doing here is touching these two variables, to Zscaler and bypass. The to Zscaler variable is the default proxy to the internet, that is the virtual IP of the connector, and the bypass is pointing to the bypass proxy of the connector. And the bypass will apply to this list, the list of bypasses we have on defined on the connectors. And finally, it will provide me the gateways for the servers. Then I will take these gateways IPs. I will put on my information here. CSC gateway IP. This is here. And this pack file, I will pick up this pack file. My mouse is taking, for some applications, taking my control. I will copy this and I will go to my Zscaler portal here. Sorry, my mouse is not working properly. And I can CSC HA pair dot pack. Okay, now I have my pack server for the servers that are using pack files. This information is also available here, and I will do a copy of the pack file by cp csc pack lb or subnet. This is what I will call CSC HA pair.pack. It's the same information. Okay. Well, I have the pack file ready for the servers. If you want to know how it works, it's very easy. Remember, we installed the pack tester utility. On the pack tester utility, you can say, okay, I will test this pack file, and I will say pack tester I will use this this pack file. If I testing the client IP, I will select one client IP, for example, the one. And now let's put the 5 to put another value. And on URL, I will put http google.com. And it will show me which pack file, which is the proxy for this destination. If I put, for example, number 6, there is the other one. Number 7 will be the same than the previous one. Then depending your source IP, number 8 is one odd even, it will select one of the other. This is for servers that are okay to use pack files. But remember that one of the main challenge of this application were the servers with explicit proxy. Then for servers with explicit proxy, we need to do the HA pair. And in order to do the HA pair, the next task is to create a route table with a subnet server associated. And on the route table, create the route for the global proxy. Okay. Using NextHop, the gateway. Then I will come to my server's route table. I have this route already here that says for this destination, this will be your proxy, your explicit proxy destination. The next hop is this. What I will do for a moment, I will show you this is destination virtual appliance. We will put whatever here to see that this is working. Okay. What the connector will do is to read this route, only this route, and we'll put the connector as next hop. And finally, the other route is the default route is via the IP of the firewall. Then the server, this traffic will be default via the firewall, but all the traffic to the global send, this IP, a special IP, will go via the connector, and the connector will choose the route for this and for these destinations. Is one thing good to add on the subnets sometimes is to add here. Let me add the internal configuration of the subnets. I will associate the subnet of the internal of CSC to be 100% sure that this works. Okay, let's take a look at an overview now. Sometimes it's not refreshing properly. Okay, then we have the servers and the internal subnet of the connector using this route by default. Our next task is to assign the role of contributor to each CSC. The CSC should have the ability to do Azure CLI commands. And will allow the CSC to manage to read each other's VMs and also to read the routing table of this routing table. Then I need to come to my VM here, and I will to identity, and I will put on system assigned. I will go to the other one, identity, I will put on. And going back again, I will assign permissions. There is several ways to do this. I will add permissions I will select the scope. I will say, let's put a resource group because I have each one resource group. Yes, I want to allow this machine to read the resource group where the CSCs are. And also I will add another role to read the resource group of where the routes are, the route tables. And select the role contributor. Save. Okay, this is done on this H1 CSC HA pair 1. I will do the same on the other second one. Come to identity and allow the role to read the other to be a contributor for this resource group and also on the routing table. Okay, easy. And finally, when I on the identity, this is what I'm doing, and we need to SSH CSC and run the initial wizard of the CSC. Then using this, I will SSH. Remember, I put the key here. CSC. The password is always CSC admin, and the gateways are. This is the first one. Interesting. The first one is 7, the second one is 4. This is why it's good to have a script doing this work, because this is not assigned in sequence. Then if you do this manually, it will be very painful. But having the script will do all the work for you. Now, this is the initial script for the initial wizard for the connector. When you deploy the connector, then what I will do is to assign the nodes I want to connect. Remember, Washington and New York, and the pack file URL, this type of stuff. Then, do you want to change of the Zscaler information? Yes, I'm using Zscaler 3. I will select manually my nodes. The first one is 31, that is Washington. The next one is New York, that is 25. 25, yeah. Credential, yeah, we need to have the credentials. Then I need to put the credentials I created during the location. That is this, the credentials for the CSC pair and the pre-check key. Do you want to display? Yeah, let's take a look. WH. Yeah. Change the DNS servers. Yes, if you have your own DNS servers internally. I don't have it in this demo, but it's good to put your own DNS. In my case, I will not change this. Pack URL, yes, I want to change the pack URL and to use the pack URL we created on the previous steps. Remember, this pack URL for the bypasses is only the list here of domains and subdomains will be allowed to pass the connector. The same list we have on the production pack file for the PCs and servers. Do you want to apply? Yes. I don't have SIM installed. I'll say no. Do you want to do yes? Now the CSC is checking if it's connectivity to New York. This is a set of checks, and these values are correct. I will reboot. And now I will do the same for the other CSC. Yes. 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 My Zscaler 3 manually. Washington 31. New York 25. Credential. Yes. You can use the same credential for both. The credentials are per location, and you can have many devices using the same credentials. You don't need to create one credential for each device. Just use the same for all of the devices on the same location. Let's see, the copy paste was good. Yes, I don't want to change the DNS server. I want to change the bypass pack, and I want to use this. Yes, this is okay. Yes, I have no SIM, and I will go for the first one. Want to reboot? Yes. Good, good, good. Okay, meanwhile we wait for the reboot of this, let's log in again to the previous one. Most likely it's still booting. The initial boot, the connector is doing all the firewall rules, all the setup, all the stuff. Then it takes more than 1 minute to wake up at the beginning. Then we will need to, yeah, we're still loading. Retrying 1 minute. I will stop this 1 second, and I will back in a couple of minutes. Okay, this 2 minutes, and let's go and SSH the connector again. This is the number 1. If I do show configuration status, I have all the information here of the connector, subscription, blah 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 blah. The VIP proxy, where they send the traffic to Zscaler, the bypass proxy, and also this connector is connected to Washington DC using this public IP. That is the public IP of the connector. This we solve the problem to go direct. We're going direct via this, and the rest of the traffic will go via the firewall. Our next step here is to configure high availability to solve the problem with the explicit proxy. Then what we need to do is to run the wizard, this high availability wizard. Here it explains all that we need to do, put the roles, all the stuff on the CSC to reach to read the other CSC and to change the routing table. Remember, what we want to achieve here is that the next hop will be one of the connectors and not this 10.1.1.1. If everything is okay, and I will be back a little bit here, the value should be this 7 or the 4, depending which one connector is active. But the value for this route will be the gateway of the connector. Then, are you ready to continue? Yes. I'm going to activate the HA service, and they say, which route do you want to touch? And this route, this name, please, this is important. The connector will not touch anything else than a route on your environment. It's very safe to use. What is the route table of this route? Is this route table. Okay. What is the resource group of the route table? Is this. Do you want another route? No. And now it's asking me about information, which is the other CSC on the pair. And I need to come to somewhere. This is the other CSC on the pair. Let's go to Overview and say, what is the computer name of the other CSC? This is the computer name. What is the resource group? And this is all the information. I'm going to touch one routing table, one route on a routing table, and this is the other pair. One important thing, the connector is capable to manage multiple routes. In case you have a more complex environment and you have multiple subnets that they need a splicing proxy, not only one subnet like here, and you want to touch multiple routes, the connector is capable to do. In this case, I have only one. Do you want to play changes? Yes. And now the HA service is going up. And if I go to show configuration status, the services start running now. It takes about 1 minute to manage which is the connection to the pair. Then what I'm going to do, I'm doing the configuration fast in the other one. Let me move high availability. I want to configure my route name. What's this one? The route table. Resource group. No. Computer name of the other connector. I will go to here. To the other connector, and I will computer name. Resource group of the computer. I want to apply changes, yes. Okay, now this connector is also going to talk to the other connector and to decide which is the availability, the connector that will run the high availability. Okay. Now, because we did this first, they say the route, this route global same IP will use next hop is 10.2.2.1, this CSC. Okay. And in the other case, the other one will wake up probably saying that okay, it's telling me the same. The other one is the other CSC in the pair. Then if I come to my route table, this route table now has the okay. Is the now yes the next hop 10.1.1 was changed for 10.2.2. This one, okay, it's on the control. Then your task now is to use this as explicit proxy, and the connector will be smart enough to say if this is going down, they will change the route through here, and you have redundancy for servers with explicit proxy. Well, this is the end of the this video. In this video, we we configure the high availability pair, cloud security connector high availability pair, and we have redundancy with servers with pack files, and also we have redundancy for servers with explicit proxy, and on the explicit proxy we need to set up this IP 185.46.212.88, this global send gateway IP, that is an IP that Zscaler is used for this purpose. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. where we are going to configure the CSC pool. Thank you.